Based off of what we talk about here, issues of the mind, today we're looking at the depression realities. What is depression? Is it real? Does it actually happen to people? How do you know that you are depressed? Who told you that you are depressed? What are the things you need to look out for? But to start with, depression is when you're losing interest in the things of life that were previously pleasurable to you. Depression affects how you feel, you think, and you act. It is when there is a sudden lifestyle changes to the things that you do before. And depression is a trail. It means that it's a process. So people don't just get depressed in one day. Certain things may have happened to them that has led to that point where they begin to spiral down and things begin to get really bad. But the idea is to know if you're really, really depressed. So for you to be certified depressed, you must have consistently had a downtime, a sad episode, low mood for at least 2 weeks. And if it has happened for 2 weeks consistently, not off and on, then you can say that, oh, this person may be depressed. But then psychotherapists will be the people to diagnose if somebody is clinically depressed or badly depressed as it is. And it's part of our job to also let you know who told you you are depressed. Well, how did you get there? And I also want to say a caveat here that please don't throw around the word depression when you are momentarily sad or when you feel, oh, there's a need in your life that has not been met and you feel bad. And eventually the need happens. Depression is a mental illness that even when you have all that you need in life, people still find themselves in that mood. And depression happens to different kinds of people, no matter who you are, the rich, the poor, the middle class, the high class, the low class, due to the issues of life. It is when the mind is fractured due to pain and pressures of life, and the fracture remains there for a very long time. But then again, no hope is lost. Once you are depressed, you can recover, you can heal and move on. And the will to recover, it is you rising up again to it. So how do you know that you're depressed? For example, if you have people around you that are experiencing sudden lifestyle changes, someone that used to eat well before, eat well and feed well, and then they begin to eat small, eat tiny, or someone that just eats a little before, then begins to eat a lot. Someone that sleeps a lot before, but now just sleeps small. Or someone that sleeps just averagely before, then spends the whole day, the whole week sleeping. Someone that has lost interest in things that were previously pleasurable to them, like they like to go out and hang out, and all of a sudden you see the withdrawal symptoms. They begin to stay indoors, they don't want to go out, they don't want to connect with anybody, they get angry very easy, and you know that this wasn't this person before. Now sudden lifestyle changes, and it can be through different modes and different ways. Again, if you find someone that really doesn't go out before, just there, and now they want to go out every event, every party. Find someone that is a life of the party. Now the downside is, at the end of the day, those people get back home when the chips are down and they're home alone. The depression episode of pain sets in again. So once they go out, they're trying to, like they say, dance away your sorrow. Make noise and shout. But at the end of the day, they get back to that point. So don't say, oh, when you find people that are just withdrawn alone, it is a flex. But find people that are usually life of the party, excited everywhere, extra energy, pumping. They might have things that they're struggling with, things that they are challenged with, and things that they need help with. So I'm saying to you that you need to know that depression is a silent killer, and you need to pay attention to sudden lifestyle changes of people, because it is subtle sometimes, and it's a silent killer. It's somehow challenging for people to figure it out, or people to know if they are getting depressed. But one of the major symptoms to know that you're struggling mentally and feeling depressed is when you lose sleep. You don't get to sleep as much. It's when your appetite changes, it becomes high or low. It's when you don't want to do the things you used to do before. It's when probably you don't, initially you like to watch movies, go out and meet people, and then you don't want to do that again. Or maybe you don't even do it now, you want to be everywhere, you want to appear everywhere. A sudden lifestyle change usually would be the best symptoms on how to figure out, oh, if you're going through depression, if it's been challenging. And it has to really, really be depression. Not when the problem is solved, you are fine, you're good to go. Sometimes people that are struggling with depression are really struggling, even though they have all that they want. And the tail line of depression is suicidal ideation. When people begin to think about how to take their lives because they feel the pain is too much and the pain is not ending, it's an unending cycle, And then people begin to look for coping mechanism, abusing substances, to get around it, to drown that sorrow and that pain. But one of the things that I'd encourage is seek for help. Speak to a therapist and let them help you face that issue head on and resolve it. And at the end of the day, it now gets back to when people actually take their life, they actually suicide. Now, some people would say, oh, some religious people will say when you kill yourself, God doesn't want it. Suicide is suicidal ideation, thinking of ways to die, is a mental illness. When people have mind clarity, they are sane and they are good, they will probably not think of harming themselves. When they have all that they need and they are fine. It's when people are mentally healed that they begin to think of ending their life. The pressure is too much, their goals are not being met. And if eventually they end their life again, they died of an illness. Just as you have physical illness, spiritual illness, mental illness too. It's things that take people's lives. So my point in check is we need to be very intentional about our mind and how we process pains and issues. Now, there are three categories of people that struggle mentally at the risk of depression. The first category is women, because they are highly emotional and then they are quite expressive with their pains in ways. The second category of people are people that may be struggling with their sexual orientation, the LGBTQIA+, and because of the way they struggle in the society, generally with that kind of mindset. And the last group of people are men. Why? Because men are not emotionally expressive. We have cultures across the world, globally, that makes men superior, that demands a lot from men, financially, spiritually, physically, in every way. And because of the high demand on masculinity, and plus ego, it actually drowns them in being able to share their pain and their struggles, and they wade through it until it becomes really bad, at the end of the day. And then it makes a ton of men susceptible to anger, because in their mind there's a lot of processes ongoing in there. And because men are at the peak of this high risk of being depressed or struggling mentally, it is a call again for men to look after how their mind works, how you feel, think, and act. Being able to express how you feel, being able to think clearly, and being able to act in accordance to life is so essential to everyone. But then again, even children go through depression, because when what they see around them affect them, and most times children inherit it from their parents. So depression is genetic, is heritable. You can inherit it from your parent down the line. And it's so sad that even certain things causes people to go through depression. It might be body biology, hormones, especially for women that experience from time to time hormonal changes. And you may have heard the phrase before, hormonal imbalance that happens to men or women. It might even be genetic with children. And then finally, again, when it comes to how people get there, it might be due to sudden lifestyle changes. So when somebody has gone through trauma, probably an accident, their life changes, they begin to learn a new lease of life. You can only tell on them. It might be due to the trauma of rape or abuse that have made people depressed. It might be that people just came up with, or people started living with terminal illnesses like cancer and all the likes. So those things are things that can trigger depression from people. And then there are different kinds of depression. But I would like to speak on one of them, called the postpartum depression. That's depression that happens after childbirth to women. And they feel that the baby begins to cry. The woman doesn't see herself as being able to care for the baby. She doesn't even want to breastfeed again. And these things are there that we see. But how do people get help? So the point is, people should speak up and get help at the right time. Even if they don't know how to get the people around them, family, parents, in-laws, should be able to see what these things are and try to get help for whoever is around them that needs this help. There are different kinds of depression. There's season affective depression. That means that there's this particular season of the year that makes certain people depressed. Some people in winter, in developed countries, just feel indoors and it really get back at them. And then maybe in summer, the sun is out, it's green, they are bright again. And then there may be some people in autumn that looks kind of in between. Maybe some people in rainy season. Some people don't just like rain. Once it begins to rain, it affects them psychologically. The noise, the thunder, the lightnings, it gets them depressed. And some people, it might just be when the sun is high and the weather is hot that it gets to them. So there are seasons too that really happen. There are different ways with which people get depressed. Depression might be pressures of your environment where you live, the country you live in, the laws might be stringent, getting the things that you need might be hard, and it can even lead people being depressed. The lifestyle of people, when you live in a place where maybe once in 2 months you get to see your neighbors and all, loneliness can lead to depression. Life pressures, loss of job, loss of a loved one, grief can lead to depression. Quite a number of things can lead to depression. But now that we know these things, and it's good to work on them, if you have people around you that are struggling, that may be going through grief and stuff, their life didn't just change. Something happened to them. They might have lost a loved one, lost a lucrative job. Things may just really have changed. It is very, very essential for us now to pay attention to one another, holding each other, so that even if I know that my neighbor needs help, I know the kind of help they need, I should be able to refer help to them and encourage them to get the help that they need. Because when your neighbor is happy, it means that my environment is happy and it's a safe place for me to live. Finally, I like to say that please take care of how your mind works, your mental health. Because really, there is no health without mental health. And it's quite essential to work on it. Yes, you can pray about it, you can talk about it, but your mental health is your responsibility. Till I come your way again in the next episode, I remain your boy, Papi Sam. There is no health without mental health. See you around.